Maledizione, questa tempesta non ha pietà! Dobbiamo agire rapidamente! Riducete le vele! Dobbiamo portarci sotto.
Uccidete.
L'isola del tempo. Il luogo dove le sabbie sono state create. Il luogo da cui il Maharaja rubò la clessidra.
E se io riuscissi ad arrivare su quest'isola?
Si dice che il Maharaja vi abbia trovato dei portali che permettono di tornare indietro nel tempo.
Indietro nel tempo, da dove provengono le sabbie. Quando il nostro esercito arrivò al palazzo del Maharaja, accadde qualcosa di terribile.
Trovasti le sabbie del tempo.
Peggio, le aprì.
Chiunque apra le sabbie morirà.
Fui costretto a uccidere i miei compagni, i miei cari.
Ma ora sei inseguito da un'orribile bestia.
Per la prima volta in vita mia ho paura.
E morirai.
Ho usato le sabbie per riportare indietro il tempo, come se la clessidra non fosse mai stata aperta.
La bestia, il Dahaka, è il guardiano del corso del tempo. Tu dovevi morire, quindi ti troverà e si assicurerà che il tuo destino si compia.
Preferisco tentare che attendere qui la morte.
Follia! Anche se riuscissi ad approdare sull'isola, dovresti affrontare l'imperatrice del tempo.
Viaggerò a ritroso nel tempo e impedirò la creazione delle sabbie. Senza le sabbie, il Dahaka non avrà motivo di uccidermi.
Allora vai, mio principe, ma ricorda, il tuo viaggio non avrà un lieto fine. Non puoi cambiare il tuo destino. Nessun uomo può.
Ma che razza di trucco è questo? Sono l'artefice della mia stessa fine. Allora è proprio così. Ciò che è scritto nel corso del tempo è inalterabile. Forza, vieni a prendermi. Invece di annientare le sabbie del tempo, sono stato io a crearle. Che tutti conoscono il coraggio e il valore di chi lottò e cadde per il Maharaja. Cercavamo il potere delle sabbie del tempo. Molti trovarono la morte. E io fui uno di questi. Ma la maschera dello spettro mi concesse una seconda chance. Tornare indietro nel tempo e cambiare il mio destino. Questo affresco mostra l'impossibile. Ma la maschera dello spettro mi concesse una seconda chance. Forse c'è speranza. Hai avuto la tua occasione per prendermi. Non ne avrai un'altra.
Io sono diventato quella cosa.
No, no! Ma com'è possibile?
Le sabbie sono qui nel presente, non nella clessidra.
Le sabbie dovrebbero essere scomparse dal corso del tempo. Il Daka fa il suo lavoro. Oltre ad essermi salvato, sono anche riuscito ad eliminare le sabbie del tempo.
Cos'è? Cos'è che vuoi?
L'amuleto. L'ultima reliquia delle sabbie del tempo. Sarà vero. Ho cambiato il mio destino. Presto sarò a casa.
Non puoi cambiare il tuo destino. Nessuno lo può.
Che cosa ho fatto? Insieme costruimmo questa nave. Insieme lasciammo l'isola. E insieme tornammo a Babilonia.
Tutto ciò che è tuo spetta a me di diritto. È mio. Sarà.
Il tuo viaggio non avrà un lieto fine. Non puoi cambiare il tuo destino. Nessun uomo può.
A king and his son have defeated a mighty empire, inheriting an extravagant hourglass and a mysterious dagger that contain the mystical powers of the sands of time.
Inside the hourglass is a marvel that no living man has seen. Only the dagger can unlock the sands of time, and it belongs to a greater one than I.
But when the prince is tricked into releasing an ancient and evil curse,
You have unleashed the sands of time. I can undo what you have done. Give me the dagger.
he'll have to put his faith in a woman he has no reason to trust.
My father's army sacked your palace, captured you as a slave. You have every reason to hate me. Now you want me to trust you.
Go on! There's no time! The dagger! He must not get the dagger!
Now he must use his power to control time, to get the sands back. The power of revival. The power of delay. The power of restraint. The power of haste. The power of destiny. From Ubisoft Studios comes the epic tale of a prince searching for redemption and the kingdom he must save. Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time.
Since the beginning of the conception phase of Pop 2, our ambition has been to push the visual and graphic limits of the critically acclaimed The Sands of Time. The artistic direction and graphical treatment was one of the most prized features of The Sands of Time. And the massive challenge we face in Pop 2 will be to innovate and provide an even more exciting and unique graphical treatment. First, we started by defining the new emotion that we wanted the player to feel in Pop 2, namely fear and oppression. The player will play a prince that is cursed and that will have to face his own destiny, his own death. In this respect, the artistic direction took on a more mature and darker treatment. Visually, I wanted to place the emphasis on a realistic treatment in order for the players to be totally captivated by the game. In order to immerse the player in the game, we had to focus on color, light, textures, and detail in a unique and very specific way. I love the use of a monochromatic palette. It helped us to build the consistency throughout the game levels. It also helped us to provide emotions and also subtly put forward the key gameplay and plot elements. Each place in the game has a unique and dramatic mood and atmosphere that will help the player to orient himself. A game like Prince of Persia 2 allows each artist in our team to express themselves in very diverse universes. The player will explore a lot of various places, but they will first and foremost travel in different time periods, the past and the present. As for the characters, we had two challenges. First, we had to give the prince a new charisma, an attitude corresponding to his new combat abilities, with one constraint though: make him consistent with the Prince of the Sands of Time. We eventually made him evolve. Our new prince is a more mature character, darker, and always ready for a fight. He's now a real warrior, very self-confident, but also marked by fate. He is cursed by what is hunting him, by a death he knows can't be avoided. We wanted his armor to reflect this new orientation, with leather armor close to his body that would both protect him and also allow him to perform masterful acrobatic moves. The player will feel this character's rage, a certain violence in his attacks, and an enormous determination to face his destiny. As for the enemies, we wanted them to reflect this new direction of the game. We wanted them to appear fierce and frightening, and show attitudes and moves as distinctive as possible. As artistic director, I helped to unify the vision of the team to make one of the most visually stunning games of 2004.
Hi, I'm Jean-Christophe Guillaume, creative director for Prince of Persia 2. For 10 years, the Prince of Persia brand has been a defining benchmark for action-adventure gaming. So when we started imagining potential concepts for the sequel, we wanted to keep the best of the Sands of Time design, but also innovate to make the experience even more memorable. So, the concept behind Pop 2 relies on the same core values as all of the other Prince of Persia games. A very organic design that makes the experience highly immersive, outstanding controls and animations, and a mix of combat and exploration driven by an intense story. Indeed, in this genre, the player's experience is depending on the quality of the storytelling. Here, we want to put the player in a highly dramatic situation. His fate has been written, his fight is hopeless, he will die. That said, there will be a lot of unexpected developments as the game progresses. We've incorporated some special surprises guaranteed to throw gamers through a loop. To add to this drama and support this story, we also defined characters that we wanted to be absolutely memorable. For instance, players will fight enemies as diverse as the Thrall, a 20-foot giant, and a huge mythical animal called the Griffin. He'll also be hunted by the Dahaka, the Guardian of Time, that can't be defeated. As many enemies, as many gameplays was our motto. Gameplays in Pop 2 will be even more diverse than in the previous episodes. We put a lot of creative efforts into defining new enigmas, new traps, and other elements that will keep gamers on the edge of their seats with every new challenge. But the major change in terms of gameplay is certainly the brand new fighting system. The team has completely reworked the way fights are organized in Pop 2. The player will not only be able to perform new moves like grabs, decapitations, and strangulations, but he will also be able to create unique fight sequences by chaining a lot of basic moves together. We call it the free-form fighting system. Concretely, you will be able to start with a grab and then decide whether you want to throw the enemy at another one, slice him, strangulate him, or stab a sword through his body. Another thing we introduced is the double sword combat gameplay. Pick any weapon dropped by your enemy and use it as a secondary weapon. You now have access to a series of new deadly moves with 2 weapons. Or you can utilize the new projectile aspect of freeform fighting and simply throw it at your enemy for maximum damage. We also wanted to give game players a new sense of power. The Prince is now acting with more strength and aggressivity. We paid special attention to the diversity and visual impact of the finishing moves. For instance, the double sword decapitation. For this move, we put a lot of effort into the richness of the animations, special effects like slow motion and camera angles to make it absolutely memorable. Eventually, we wanted combats in Pop 2 to be as acrobatic as the best cloak and dagger movies, so we used these references to create unique moves using the environment, like swinging around a pillar while slicing your enemies, stabbing your sword in a curtain and sliding down, or rebounding off walls towards your enemy. With all these new elements, we strongly believe the sequel we all imagined and hoped for is coming to fruition, and it will truly set new standards in the action genre, just like Prince of Persia: Sands of Time did in 2003. Prince of Persia 2 will hit stores this November. Look for it.